never stop at one. I'll take you all on.
At least I'll have the satisfaction of destroying you, Optimus Prime.
You can't remember my name.
The weak shall perish?
Do not believe everything you read.
Alright, hey everyone, I'm Cyberverse Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Dark of the Moon Dreads. Now, I am going to tell you all this. These two right here are actual Studio Series figures. This guy is not. As you can see, this is Studio Series Crowbar. Not in my headcanon. Well, not according to... Well, according to Hasbro, this is Crankcase. This is actually Transformers TLK Berserker customized into a crankcase, and that's Hatchet. So, what I did was, I customized this guy, Berserker, into crankcase, sold off my original 03 Crowbar, and bought crankcase to be Crowbar. And the main reasoning is that way all of these match in some sort of way or form. Because I did not like how Crowbar came out when he was first shown off. Didn't like it. Didn't think it was cool. I bought it. And he went good with Berserker, but I really wish they had that Berserker. I mean, the first version of Crowbar. I wish that was Dreadbot instead of Crowbar. Because when they did Crankcase, they just did a straight up repaint of Crowbar and gave him Crankcase colors. Notice the gold dreads. They basically just named this Crankcase, but it was a Crowbar repaint. That was bullshit. Hasbro, fix Crankcase. That's my first thing, and I'm not the only one who did this. A ton of people back when Berserker first came out, so many people were dying to get this guy because there's a guy on YouTube, Mr. Transformers 96, I believe his name is. He's done a customized version of Berserker into Crankcase. And I am forever kind of regretting that I did that, because now Berserker is a pain in the ass to find now. Because people have been buying him up for dirt cheap at Ross's and stuff during 2018, 2019, and now he's a pain in the ass to find. So I just want a Crowbar to be in my Last Night collection, even though he appeared on screen for like 2 seconds. I still want him, because it's another TLK Decepticon sort of that I don't have. But anyway, so I put a poll up and I asked people, should I do individual reviews or should I review all of these guys together? Everyone surprisingly wanted me to review them together, so heads up, I'm going to be doing the same thing with the Wreckers. So that's going to be fun. Anyway, I guess we can start off with the main one that everybody's probably looking forward to seeing, which is my custom crankcase. And I really didn't do much to them in alt mode. It's really in the bot mode. So what you want to do is take these boomsticks or whatever, get them out of the way. Let me get Crowbar out of the way. Then you just want to... I will admit, the transformation on this thing and the way that it kind of comes together isn't the best, but it is what it is. You just want to take that panel, fold that back. Take this panel, fold it back. Come here to this. I think it's kind of cool because these parts here become his arms and the legs are back here. kind of folds in on himself. He's kind of a shell former in a way, and it's just badass. So there's his legs. Go ahead and rotate them here at the thigh. Gotta give him the chicken legs. Fold that down. Fold out the heel. Same thing here. Rotate that. Fold that in. Fold the knee back a little bit. Rotate that panel out. Basically got his legs done. Now up here, what you want to do is kind of untab everything here. And you are going to want to hold on to the figure like this. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You want to take this piece here, unhinge it, fold that down. Take this piece, fold that up, collapse on his back. Fold this down, collapse that in, fold that in, and then kind of have it rest there for a second. His arms are going to come out like this. Rotate him here at the ball joint. Come under here, rotate his hand out, then collapse the fender against his elbow just like that. Same thing here, rotate it at the shoulder. Fold, or no. Rotate the hand out, fold that in. These pieces on his back are going to rotate up. Same thing over here. Rotate that up. Then go ahead and raise the his neck is on a very, very soft ball joint, so I would recommend being very careful. That is one thing about this figure that everybody hated, was the fact that he just kind of falls apart. Alright. Collapse the waist together. And then, oh, heel came loose again. And I believe that is my custom crankcase in his bot mode. And you'll see why he's painted the way he is in a minute. Because I tried to mimic or kind of copy the actual Studio Series crankcase's colors, but I put this as my headcanon crowbar. Anyway, so yeah, there he is in his bot mode, and he looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, the colors are kind of dull on him and stuff, but that doesn't bother me too much because he is a Decepticon. And I'll admit, I think this mold is 10 times better than the original Dark of the Moon version, mainly because it's a lot more screen accurate. He's slender like he was in the film, and I actually just got done rewatching the film. And yeah, him and Crowbar were very, very sleek, very Predator-esque, of course. And I won't lie, I do think this figure here captures that design a whole lot better than the original Studio Series figure. And you can give him the weapons. I just kind of... Well, he can hold one, and yes, you can store them on the back of his shoulders. It's a shame that they don't really peg in very well, but you can store them on the back of his shoulder. But I have him hold them because it's just cooler that way. I wish he came with a gun like he did in the film, but again, this is Berserker, technically speaking, from Hasbro. Because this was Berserker at one point. This is now Crankcase. But anyway, yep, there's my custom crankcase. So now we get into technically the actual crankcase, but crowbar to me. So remove these, put these off to the side here. Take this, fold it forward. It's pretty much the same transformation, just a bit cleaner, I want to say. Fold that back. Fold that back. Fold that up. Come here to the back of the sedan. I think it's a sedan. No, it's a... I forget what Chevy this is. I don't think Chevy makes sedans. I'm sorry, I'm not a car person, but oh god, I forgot what Chevy this is. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. But it's fine. Okay, rotate the hands out just like that. Go ahead and fold this back. Fold that in. Fold that in. Just like on that guy. Okay, fold this back. Fold the legs down. Just like that. Rotate them forward. And this part is pretty cool. Fold this forward, and then you take the wheel here and fold that back. That becomes his heel, which is so badass. I actually did like that added feature. This is so cool. Just rotating the tire back, that is so cool. Then you kind of get his feet going here. Rotate his shoulder at the ball joint. Get the shoulder at the ball joint. And instead of just hanging out, the hands actually fold into the forearm. Oh man, come on. Fold out. Just like that. Rotate that forward. Okay. Same thing here. Rotate that. Yeah, come on. Sometimes it likes to fight me, but not all the time. Okay. And then you want to take these pieces here and fold them down. The little dreads here, or the big ass dreads. Okay, fold that, and fold that back. And there you have technically Hasbro's crowbar, but my headcanon of, Hasbro's crankcase, but this is, to me, my crowbar. And now you can kind of see why I wanted my crankcase to, my custom crankcase to match this one, because I thought the colors looked so much better on the crowbar mold. And because Crowbar, if you remember, he had red highlights and stuff like that to make him match the last night's Berserker, which was, thoughtful at the time, but we all wanted them to look kind of like this. So when this guy came out, I took my last night Berserker and went, maybe I can kind of homage this to where they still look cohesive together. Sorry. To where they still look kind of cohesive together, and I think they do. It's just the gold or the bronze doesn't really match. This is kind of weathered and stuff like that, which is due to age, really. It's not really due to me doing a shitty paint job or anything. I am planning on getting better paint, because I painted this guy with paint pens at the time, and I really want to go back and do Tamiya paint, because it would clean this guy up a lot more. So sorry for the shitty job that I did. Some people in my comment section have said they made shitty customs. Hey, you start off shitty sometimes, and then as you get more rhythm into it, you eventually find what you really want to do. I need to fix this, because I'm not all happy with this, to be honest. But yeah, I really wanted my crowbar to match, I really wanted my custom crankcase to match this. That way I could say, cool, I have a nice new set of dreads. And on articulation on both of these are pretty much the same. Ball joints here at the shoulder, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow. Head is on a ball joint, which is cool. I'm showing you the articulation on this guy and not him, because his head likes to pop off, so that's why. This guy's got, and a lot of rotation at the head and stuff, which is cool. Nothing at the waist, because this is early studio series. Ball jointed hips, thighs swivel, single jointed knee, which goes about 90 degrees. And then you can get the feet into some pretty cool poses as well, but no ankle tilt. So, early studio series, this came out in 2019, so yeah, it's not going to be the best at articulation, but it's decent. And yes, he can hold the bomb sticks or whatever, these little things that he threw in Ironhide and Sideswipe, or that they both threw in Ironhide and Sideswipe. I really wish one of these guys came with the freaking guns. Yeah, that would have been so cool. And there's no upgrade kit for that either. But anyway, so yeah, there's my custom crate case and my somewhat, well, and my technically crowbar, but studio series crankcase, whatever. And here's Hatchet. Finally got Hatchet, and he is significantly different from the other two. Transforms kind of the same, but more of a dog, I guess. Anyway, his tail stores right here. So let me untab this. Put that off to the side there. Go ahead and get this extended out just like the others. Raise this up. Open this panel. Fold that back. Fold it back. Now, I have noticed on this version of the figure, the panels, the side panels here, where these back panels are, they love to pop off more on this than on the other two. I'm guessing mold degradation and, constant reuse of this mold. I'm happy that they're all three Chevy Suburbans. That's what they are, Suburbans. There, no one's got to correct me in the comments. They're Chevy Suburbans. I don't know why I said the other word. I said sedans, man. What a dumbass. Anyway, this part I really hate doing because it's a pain in the ass to transform this guy sometimes. Okay. His hips come out like this. So you want to bring him out like that because he is going to be on all fours. And then this whole section here pops up. Fold down his, his paws basically. Flip that up. Flip that in. That creates his top of his back, I think. Oh, wow. I was about to say, I know that windshield folds down. It was just super tight on mine. Okay, then you rotate this back and rotate the foot here forward. And then you take this arm here, rotate that down, swivel it to the side here, fold down his front paws, go ahead and get him to grip the side of that. Looks like he's taking a piss. Oh my god. Then you rotate that there. Rotate that down. And that is pretty much Hatchet in robot mode. Now the tail goes right here, I think. I think it goes right here on this hinge. Oh lord. Am I wrong on that? No, I was right. Nope, tail goes there. Awesome. So there is Hatchet in robot mode, and I damn near do not recommend posing this guy. You cannot get him into any decent pose other than this. So, yeah. Basically, I'm just going to point out where he can bend. Ball jointed shoulders, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, can, rotate the wrist in, but he's basically a dog at this point. He can't really do shit. He does have an opening jaw, which is cool. That's pretty cool. Then he has ball jointed hips, ball jointed knees, a hinge here at the kind of at the ankle, but not really. So he is somewhat posable, but he's really meant to just sit. He's pretty much meant to just stand there and look awesome. That's pretty much his whole purpose. And a lot of people gave this guy a lot of hell when he first came out. Granted, I kind of already knew that this figure was going to kind of suck anyway. And the main reasoning why I bought him is just to complete the trio. Because look how cool this is, man. Finally, a complete, accurate set of dreads. Because the Cyberverse figures from the Dark of the Moon line, all three of them were different vehicles. Crankcase was the only one who was the accurate car, or, he was the only one who was a Suburban. Yeah, Chevy Suburban. And Hatchet was a jet for whatever the reason, and Crowbar was a police car. Made no sense, but it was still cool. I do actually plan on getting those at some point. I'm not sure when, but yeah, they all match in alt mode, and in robot mode, they're even cooler. So me personally, if you really want a set of dreads, these are probably the ones to go with. Granted, you will have to buy a Berserker and customize them to look like this. Not exact your own version, of course, but you would have to, do that, and you would have to buy the actual Studio Series crankcase if you want what I guess I have in my collection. But this is how I wanted my dreads to be displayed, and I'm more than happy to own all three of these guys. Just finally, after almost 15 years since the movie came out, I finally have a set of Dark of the Moon dreads that I'm actually satisfied with. Because in the actual Dark of the Moon line, they only came out with Crankcase as a deluxe. They never bothered to make Crowbar. They never bothered to make Hatchet. They only bothered to make Crankcase, and that sucked. And the Cyberverse line was the only one that had all three. Same with the Wreckers, and both teams didn't even freaking match, because the Cyberverse line, Roadbuster and Leadfoot were weaponized, but Topspin wasn't. And then for the Cyberverse dreads, all three of them were different alt modes, which just made zero sense to me, but I get why Hasbro maybe did it at the time. Anyway, so yeah, there is my review on the Dark of the Moon Deluxe, the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Dreads. And these are my final Decepticons. I saved these guys for last, mainly because, these are probably the most popular Decepticons in that movie, other than Shockwave. So, and I guess Soundwave as well. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching and tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.